Hello students, good to have you at this time. I just thought that in preparation for your WAEC exams and NECO, I need to show you some fundamentals that are very important for you in the process of getting ready for these exams. Okay, you know that your exam questions is in two sections, section 1 and section 2. Okay, and this section 1 always have the compulsory questions, question number 1 and 2. Question 1 and 2. And these questions are usually statistics, that is calculations. Okay, and every candidate is expected to answer one out of the two. And then you can pick, I think, 3 from the other 8 questions. Okay, so I just thought to myself that it is very important for me to help you out by showing you some area of concentrations where WAEC and NECO normally bring those special calculation questions out from. Okay, and when I look at those questions over the years, sometimes one question of WAEC, that statistic question, could combine 2 or more topics together. One question could combine 2 or more topics together in a question. Okay, I'm going to show you an instance today, and I'll try as much as possible to identify some questions that you can use to practice for your exams. Okay, so I have some questions I've selected as an example for practice, right? These are the area of concentration for those compulsory questions. Sometimes they also bring essay questions, but basically this area are for statistics, these topics. The first topic there that they normally use all the time is the basic tools. And when you talk about basic tools here, you talk about the pie chart. Using a circle 360 for calculation. Okay, then we also have bar charts. Now this bar chart could be a simple bar chart where each bar represents one information. Okay, it could also be a component bar chart where each bar represents more than one information. I hope you are with me. Then you can also have what? A multiple bar chart where each bar represents one information, but they are joined together to make a complete information. Am I communicating? Very well. You can also have what? Histogram, where all the bars are joined together to interpret the data, and pictogram also. Okay. Then another topic is the measure of central tendency. Measure of central tendency. Here we are talking about the mean, the median, and the mode. This can come as well as a theory question. They can ask you in a theory question, that's number 3 to 10. They can ask you what is mean at A, and then B, what are the advantages of mean in economic statistics? Okay? So mean, or called arithmetic mean, or call it average. Mean is talking about the average. I mean the total given to you divided by the number, that's average. The median means the value that fall in the middle. The word median means the value that fall what? In the middle. In the middle line. The value that falls in the middle. The value that falls in the middle. That's median. Okay? While mode means the value that occur the most occurrence. Most occurrence. So in a given data, which value appears the most, we call this mode. Alright? And that is measure of central tendency. Okay. The next one is measure of central, or measure of dispersion. Sorry, measure of dispersion. Measure of dispersion. In this case, they're talking about range, deviation, variance, and of course, standard deviation. In range, the simplest among them, which is talking about the difference between the highest and the lowest. Okay? Highest minus lowest will give you your range. And deviation, as one of them is talking about the square root of your answer. Alright? Now, the next topic we are looking at here is the theory of demand and supply. You know, this is a very heavy topic as far as economics is concerned. Okay? The theory of demand and supply. Now, what are the area of statistics that they used to bring out for your number one? Remember, we are talking about AOC now. Area of concentration for what? For number one and number two. That's what we are talking about now. Area of concentration. Okay? Those calculation statistic aspect. This is the area I want you to develop yourself, because whether you like it or not, one or two of your question, 1 and 2, comes from this place. It's whether you like it or not. Okay? So theory of demand. In theory of demand, we're talking about the schedules. The schedules are the table. You know, you can't discuss demand without talking about table. There's always giving you a table, and from that table, you can draw curve, you can draw graph, you can do whatever you want to do from a table. Schedules, demand schedule. And then we have demand functions. Demand function is when you are given an equation. Okay? The equation could be here, you could say QD equals 20 minus 2P. This is a demand function. So you will give you P, which is the price. And then by the time you substitute for P for all the given values, you will get your answer. For your answer, you draw a table. From a table, you can draw either a curve, a pie chart, or a bar graph. Am I communicating? Very well. And that's why I told you that oftentimes this number one or two question can combine 2 or 3 questions, 3 topics together. 2 or 3 topics. For instance, if you are given a schedule, and from that schedule, which is a table of demand, or you are given a function, and from the function you are asked to represent it in a pie chart, and the pie chart, your answers. It has combined. You will see it today. And then we have the elasticity of demand and supply. This elasticity, whether it be for price, whether it be for cross. What do you mean? It means that in price elasticity, I've also done this as a topic on this line. I don't know, you can check one of my old videos. You see where we treated the theory of demand and supply. Okay, when we talk about price elasticity, it's talking about price being the one responsible for the change. In fact, elasticity means the responsiveness to change. Responsiveness. Look at the word elastic, change. Changing from the original position. Okay? So responsiveness, either to price or to cost. That means price brought about change in the demand or the supply. But when we say cross, look at the word cross. Cross. It means that when the price of a product affects the demand of another product. Why? Maybe the two products are competitive or complementary as joint. So the price of one will eventually affect the other, and that is what we call cross elasticity of demand. So you can also have calculation on that too. The next one. The next topic is population. They also bring out questions on population. And this time around, they may ask you the population growth. Population growth. And when you are talking about population growth at this point, we are talking about the differences between the birth rate and, of course, death rate. That's what we call natural growth rates. So your natural growth rate is different between birth rate and death rate. That's natural growth rate. That's growth. So you can also do calculation in this. They can also give you calculation on distribution. Particularly, they ask you age distribution of the population. And remember, we used to have 0 to 17 as what? As dependent. That is children. School age, children, school age. Then we have 18 to what? To 18 to 54. But now they have changed to 59. because the average age in Nigeria is now 60, no longer 55. Okay? So it can be 18 to 54, or say 18 to 59, as what? Labor force. Or workforce. And then you can say from 55, or I say from 59 and above. We call them what? Retirement age. Retirement age. Okay? So these children are retirement age, both of them are what? They are dependent population. They depend on the labor force, on the workforce. Am I communicating? That is distribution. Still calculation under population. They can also ask population density. Population density is talking about the total population, a ratio of the total area. The total geographical area and the population, the relationship, the ratio is population density. And with that one, you can say whether the country is what? Overpopulated or underpopulated or optimum populated. So you can say all these are statistical aspects of economics. They can also come as theory, practical theory, because you can be asked to explain any of this. You can ask what is the labor force in a country? Or what are the dependency of the country? So you have to explain dependency population by mentioning the children and the retirement age. They can also ask you to explain either of this over under our population. Okay, or they can ask you what is natural growth rate. I've said that in the one NECO question. What is natural growth rate? You have to tell them the meaning is the difference between the birth rate and the death rate. And you show this simple mathematical equation. Okay? And most of the time they will even give you values for you to find to solve an equation. Okay? Another area of concentration for these statistics economies is the theory of cost, theory of revenue, theory of productivity, or theory of utility, or theory of output. Okay? So you can have it as theory of cost, of revenue, of productivity, of utility, of output. And that's why we're talking about TC, AC, MC. Are you there? What is TC? Total cost. AC, average cost. MC, marginal cost. And then you can also have ATC, AVC, and what have you? Average total cost. Average variable cost. And for the revenue, you just change the C to R, to R, to R. Okay? If it's productivity, to P, to P, to P. If it's utility, U. If it's output, O. The same logic. Am I communicating? Most of the time you are given a table. And you are asked to complete the table. They give you a table, some values will be missing. You have the output here, then you have your AC, you have your TC, you have your MC. They give you some value will be missing, give you some value will be missing. They do it in such a way that there will be alternate values, such a way you can be able to use your formula to what? To get your, your answers. For instance, if you are looking for your TC equals what? FC plus VC. TC is what? Fixed cost plus variable cost. And you're looking for your AC. Your AC is what? Your TC all over your output or your quantity, your average cost. So you can see, they'll give you a table and you have formulas. All these formulas, you need to have them here. If you know the meanings of all this, it will help you to generate their formulas. Total cost. What is total cost? Total amount of money you spent to produce a good or a service. A part of that cost could be fixed cost, the cost that is not changed, like the building. Then you have variable costs, the one that changes, base salaries, the more you work, the more you pay, and all those other costs, exigencies, those daily running of administration, they are variable. The changes with time, plus one that is not changed, the building itself. So add it together, now becomes your total cost. And when you're asking, what is your average cost? What you spend on producing one? It's very simple. Just look at what you spend to produce the 100 divided by the 100. It will give you the cost for one. TC or output or quantity. So that's about that. Another topic they do very well is national income. It comes often in these statistics, national income. And this national income can come in three ways. One, it can come in terms of measurement. It can ask you to measure national income. And for you to measure national income, you use approach to measure. There are approaches. We have three approaches, three of them. We have the income approach, yes. We have the expenditure approach. We have the output or value-added approach. Each one of them, these approaches, has what? Formulas. There's formula. There's formula for income approach. There's formula for expenditure approach. And there's formula for what? Output or value-added approach. So all these formulas, you need to learn them and apply them. Okay? Good. Then still under national income, you may be asked, what is the multiplier? You know, multiplier concept is talking about the effects of investment in your productivity, in your income, in your revenue generated, and your output. Multiplier effects, consequence, what happens after you invest, what happens after you consume. Are you with me? So we have the NPC and we have the NPS. Marginal propensity to save, marginal propensity to consume. And you know, the more you save, the less you consume. Is that it? And when you do investment, your investment has a multiplier effects on both the savings and the consumption. Is that not? So these are what to calculate in national income. Then you can also be asked PCI. What is PCI? Your PCI is your per capita income. Per capita income. Capital, no L in this. Per capita income. It has to do with income per head. Income per head of the population. So this also we have to apply with population. You know, when you generate total money in Nigeria and you divide it by the number of population of Nigeria, some are saying we're 220, some are saying we're 250. I've never seen so confused country like this where we don't even know the number of population we have. So how do we plan? How do we know whether the housing is enough? How do you know whether the road needs to be expanded is not enough for us again? How do we know the health centers and general hospitals are no longer sufficient? We don't know the actual number. Population is meant to be done, as we are taught in the economies, every 10 years. When last did we do this in Nigeria? No. Anyway, you are there. Your conscience is there to say what you have to say. Then we have the circular flow of income. How money flows from one end to the other. You know, from the household to the firm, to the organization, to government, and back again, forth and back. You know, the circular flow of income, also part of this. And the last area of concentration I'm choosing for you, or I'm advising you, is the international trade. Remember, we are talking about statistics economics. And this thing I'm doing now, this is a course on itself in university. If you are studying economics, that's what they call statistics economics, or economic statistics, where you do all these things. But why would you reveal them now, for those of you that are writing WAEC and NECO or GCE, is because of your number 1 and number 2 compulsory question, where you expect every candidate is expected to answer 1. You cannot escape it, you must answer 1, either number 1 or number 2, before you go and choose any other essay questions. Okay? So I'm only telling you the area for you to concentrate and practice ahead of your exams. I'm not telling you that this is an export one that will come out. I don't know which one will come out. I'm not resetting your question. But I'm telling you these are the areas you need to practice and prepare yourself in case of that exam. Okay? So for the international trade, we have the TOT, which is the terms of trade, which is talking about the ratio at which the price index of imports and exports. And you know, if export is small, it's favorable for you. If import is small, it's unfavorable for you, your country. While BOT is balance of trade. And of course, balance of payment. It's talking about your receipts and your payments. Your receipt is what you earn for exporting. Export is represented with X. While your payment is what you paid on what you import. Import is represented with M. My dear, I'm sure you have been exposed to this now. And now you have understanding of what number 1 and number 2 look like for your economists. And now you know where to concentrate to prepare for your exams. Okay? So what I'm going to do is that I've selected some questions as a practice for you. As a practice for you. Okay? and they are not on screen, I'll be writing them, and then we'll work with them together within the limits of our time. So my focus for this class is to look for 10 practical sample questions, which I carefully selected to drive home your understanding of those areas of concentration. Right? The first question I'm looking at is one question. Why question? Where it combines the topic population and measure of central tendency together. You see it when I display it and when I write it. Another question I'm looking at, what I'm going to do is a national income question that combines measure of central tendency. Another question is a population question that has measure of central tendency as well as what basic truths combined. 3 topics combined as one question. Then I'll have another question with agriculture with basic truths. Okay? Another one is the theory of demand and supply, which is basically elasticity, degree of responsiveness of change in demand or supply. Okay? Then we have, I think I have another one that is a demand function. Okay? Then theory of cost, national income value added method, national income and basic tools. You see, national income is combined with basic tools. And then we have international trade. Please get your pen and your paper and let's take this journey together. I'm going to be setting some questions for you, and I'm hoping you'll be able to free and flow with me. I've identified some right questions I want us to go through together at this session. Okay, this is a wide question. I need a plain sheet now. Okay, so like I said, this is a pie chart. This is a right angle triangle, 90 degrees. It's represented a wide question, 18 to 54 years, 18 to 54. Okay, let me write properly because this is maths. These calculations you can see, 18 to 54. Okay, then this one, this is 162 degrees, 162 degrees, all right? I didn't do it properly, it's not properly represented, okay? So the 90 degrees still stands, okay, something like this. So this is 162 degrees. It's not 180 anyway. So this one represents 0 to 17 years. And we have here 108 degrees. 108 degrees. Representing what? 55 years plus. Okay. So WAEC gave this diagram in our question. The WAEC examiner. This is a pie chart. They drew it in the question paper. And this is measure of central tendency. Measure of central tendency. A pie chart. It can also be a bar chart. It is a pie chart. Okay? Now, this is the question WAEC set on this. Above is a pie chart showing the age distribution of population. The total population is 120 million. We need that so much. Total population is 120 million. That's the most important information you need. Without that, you cannot solve this question. Okay? Total population is 120 million. The official retiring age is 55 years. So retirement, take note of those information, they are very important. Retirement age is 55 years. Okay? The official school living age is 18 years. School living age, 18 years. What about school living age? Once you are done with school, now you should start working from 18. Okay? From the above information, calculate the population of children. Calculate, the first thing we are looking for, is the population of children. Also calculate population of children. Then calculate population of old people. Old people. Okay? 3, we are asked to calculate the working population. Okay? And then there's a theory question that follows this that asks you, what is the economic implication of the above population structure? So you cannot answer the B, this is A. You cannot answer the B part. The B part is talking about economic implication. You cannot answer this B part without solving for A. And if you don't get correct answers for A, your answer for B will be wrong. Because your implication or your interpretation in B is dependent on what you got in A. So let's go on now. Let's start with A now. We want to calculate the population of children. Okay? The population of children should be this. Children. That is 0 to 17 years. Is that not? That's what they gave to us. Okay? Because children, yes. Population of children, old age, and working population. So this is children, this one is children. This is old age, or old people, while this is what? Labor force. That's a working population. So we're looking for the children now. Let's look for the children. Right? So, how many children do you have here? Well, 162 degrees. 162 degrees, 162, the degrees means what? 360. 162 over 360 multiplied by what? By the total population. I told you this is very vital, which is 120 million over 1. Are you with me? Very well. So we'll go from that point. What do you do? Huh? 0 cancels 0, right? And 12 goes here, 1. How many 12 goes here? 3. Are you there? 3 times 12 is 36. This one will be doing 4 year, 1, 2 year, 2 year. Okay? So we have 3 now. 3 goes here, 1. How many 3 goes in 16? That is 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Remaining 1. That is 12. 3 in 12. What do you have? 4. Am I correct? Good. 3 times 4 is 12. So what do you have now? You have 54 million. So this 162 population here means what? 54 million. Out of 120 million, 54 of them are children. The answer is a million because 120 is a million. We are looking for, remember, we are looking for population of children. Our population is there. Total population 120 million. Okay? So we are looking, the next one is population of old age. This is old age. Old age, that is 54, or sorry, 55 plus years. The one plus means 55 and above. Okay? So we're looking for that one now. How many of them? There are 108 degrees. That degrees is what? 360. Now out of 360, 108 are old age. Times what? 120 million. Huh? That is the total population given to us. We are looking at the ratio of that population in degrees, now in real number. Okay? As usual, the way I did here, 120 here, or you can do 0 cancel 0. Then 12 here, 1. 12 here, 3. Are you with me? I'm doing this for those of you that may not be too sound in mathematics. If you are sound in mathematics, just 120, 360 is gone. Okay? So we have 3. 3 here, 1. 3 in 10, 3. 3 times 3, 9. Remainder 1. 3 in 18, 6. 3 times 6, 18. So what do we have now? We have 36 million. Okay? Now we are solving for the next one, the third one, the working population. The working population. Okay? The working population is the labor force. which are what? 18 to 54 years. Okay? So it's 90 degrees. As usual, 90, the degrees is 360. Over 360 times total population given to us, 120 million. Are you there? Over 1. As usual, 0 goes here, 0 goes here. 12 here, 3. 12 here, 1. Okay? And 12 here, 3. Okay? 3 here, 1. 3 in 9, 3. 3 in 0, 0. Are you with me? 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 0 is 0. So 3 in 90 is 30. So what do you have? 30 million. If you want to confirm whether you are correct or not, you want to cross-check your answer, then your total population given to you is 120. Total population is 120. Equals 54 plus 36 plus 30. All of them in millions. So what do you have? This is 66 million plus this equals what? 120 million. So by this, you are correct. So you have solved for the A part of the question.
Hi, I'm sure you enjoyed the video you just watched. To see more content as that, preparing you for your upcoming exam, make sure to smash the subscribe button and turn on notification. Also, remember that you can use the comment section to send us your questions or your inquiries, and we are happy to take them. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.